So I came up with this video idea. I've seen a lot of people do this or that kind of things on social media, and I saw someone post a fortune cookie kind of meme that said, make me choose between two wrestlers, and I figured, what if I took that and made it a video idea? So a couple days ago I took that and posted it on my social media and asked my friends, my followers, and everybody, make me choose between two wrestlers to put in this video, and I just think it would be a really cool idea. So let's get it started. First one I got was Bret Hart or AJ Styles. I like both of them, but if anyone knows me, knows that this is a very easy question. It's AJ Styles all day. Now, Bret Hart, it's not that I don't like him or anything. I love Bret Hart. I think he is one of the best in-ring wrestlers of all time, but I also don't think he had a ton of charisma. I think AJ also doesn't have a super crazy amount of charisma, but he does have more than Bret Hart. But AJ is my favorite wrestler of all time. He's my GOAT, so that's a very easy question for me and a very easy answer to give you. It's AJ Styles all day. Next one I got was Matt Cardona or Nick Nemeth. Now, if we're talking WWE, I already have my answer. If we're talking WWE, they're both incredible. They're both great. I would say WWE-wise, Dolph Ziggler is obviously kind of a higher tier wrestler when it comes to WWE than Zack Ryder. But as a kid, I grew up a giant Zack Ryder fan. I did not miss an episode of Z True Long Island Story at all any week. There was multiple weeks I tried to be Broski of the Week and send in my videos on Twitter, and I never was Broski of the Week, unfortunately. But yeah, so if we're talking about WWE, but even indie-wise, I'm going Zack Ryder / Matt Cardona. That's my guy. But again, Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth, an incredible wrestler, incredible talent. I like him a lot. But yeah, as a kid, Zack Ryder was my guy. And now on the indies, I also love Matt Cardona. I think he is changing the game. He took the same route that Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes took of you leave WWE, you get released by WWE, and you just go on indies and kill it. But I think he's taking it to another level. I feel like each time that one of those guys have done it, they've done it and taken it to another level. Now, I'm not sure if Matt Cardona is going to take it bigger than Cody did, because Cody essentially had a hand in creating the second biggest company as a default by leaving WWE. But I think he's doing his own thing, Matt Cardona. I think he's doing his own thing, and he's putting his own twist on it and making everything he does on the indies in this indie run incredible. But I would love to see him, and Nick Nemeth as well, I'd love to see back in WWE. But I think if we got Matt Cardona in WWE every year, Royal Rumble, people the past few years since he's been gone have been hoping to either hear Zack Ryder's music or Matt Cardona's music. But yeah, long story short, Matt Cardona's my pick. Zack Ryder's my pick. That's my guy. Next up, we have Alex Riley or The Miz. Now, I see what you're doing there. They were the mentor-mentee kind of thing there with Tough Enough. That was peak me as a kid watching WWE. I actually really loved Alex Riley. I thought he was great. I thought he was awesome. Banger of a theme song, Say It To My Face. I still listen to it. It's on my wrestling themes playlist. Yeah, I really liked him, and I thought he had a lot of potential. Obviously, there is the story that, apparently John Cena is the reason he didn't really make it too far, that John Cena really didn't like that guy for some reason and kind of halted his push and kind of made sure that he didn't get anywhere. I don't know how true it is, but I have heard it for years and years, so I feel like it might be true, or at least there's some truth to it. But I always liked Alex Riley. I thought he was great, but I'm going with Miz on this one. He's just got a way bigger career, a lot more achievements, two-time WWE champion. He's been Grand Slam champion because he's been multiple-time, IC champion, US champion, tag champion. He's done it all. A few things like he hasn't won, King of the Ring or Royal Rumble, but I mean, those are few and far between. But at this point, he's got a Hall of Fame career compared to, unfortunately, Alex Riley, who was only kind of there for a cup of coffee and didn't really win any championships, didn't really do much other than kind of be the Miz's, kind of bump guy. So yeah, I'm going with Miz. He's again, as a kid, one of my guys. I remember at WrestleMania 27. I love John Cena. John Cena's one of my goats, one of my childhood heroes. But I was at WrestleMania 27, and I really loved Miz at the time. I was the only kid in the crowd that was cheering the Miz. I vividly remember that experience and vividly remember cheering the Miz and looking over, and there's a kid maybe a little bit younger than me, but very close in age to me with a John Cena shirt on, just looking at me like, dude, what are you doing? But I love The Miz, and I still love The Miz. I think he's very underrated. I think he's great. So, Alex Riley or The Miz, I'm going The Miz, because he is awesome. Rhea Ripley or AJ Lee. This is a big one. I love both of them. Rhea Ripley has been killing it. I've been a huge fan of Rhea Ripley for years now, since she arrived in NXT, in WWE in general. But yeah, since she arrived, in NXT, I've been a huge Rhea Ripley fan since that Mae Young Classic where she showed up. I thought she was great from the start. And yeah, I think she continues to be better. think she continues to be kind of the standard bearer of the women's division in WWE. I've seen, something I noticed recently is that there's some people in WWE that aren't that great, but you put them in the ring with Rhea Ripley, and you'll at least get a good match out of that because Rhea Ripley can just command that ring and control that ring, and she's a ring general. And yeah, she just can control it, and she'll get a good match out of anybody. I can go in there and have a match with Rhea Ripley, and we might have the match of the year. I'm not even playing, but AJ Lee is my pick. I love Rhea Ripley, and I think maybe give it some more time, and Rhea Ripley might be my pick over AJ Lee. But AJ Lee was the first women's wrestler I loved. Her and Paige both were kind of the first women's wrestlers I loved, but more so AJ because AJ had that time on her. 2011, 2012 kind of situation, 2010 where she kind of showed up on the scene. I used to watch her in FCW even before that, but when she showed up in NXT, the women's season, I fell in love with her wrestling. I fell in love with her in general. I thought she was so cool, so beautiful, so awesome, and so different than what we're so used to at the time with the WWE Divas. So she was the first female wrestler that really was my favorite and that I really invested in. So yeah, AJ is my pick. I really want her back. I'm filming this a couple days past the Royal Rumble, 2025 Royal Rumble, and she didn't come back. That was my big prediction. My big hope is that we will finally get it, and I'm going to keep saying it until it finally happens. It's going to be my big prediction every year until it finally happens, because I think every year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it gets a little more undeniable that maybe she's going to come back. And maybe I'm delusional. Maybe we're all delusional, and she's sitting at home laughing or sitting at home upset that we're still talking about it when she clearly doesn't want to do it. I don't know. But I feel like in the world of wrestling, the more you want something and the more it doesn't happen, the bigger it gets, the more the fans want it. And then at some point, I feel like it happens. Hell, CM Punk left WWE, didn't want to come back to professional wrestling at all. 2021, came back to professional wrestling. And then in 2023, came back to WWE. So anything happens, in my opinion. Anything can happen there. Same with, like, I'm not an Ultimate Warrior guy, but same thing with Ultimate Warrior, where he, hated Vince McMahon, hated the company, but right before he passed away was able to make amends and come back to WWE. And AJ doesn't even have any bad blood with WWE, from what we know at least. She just kind of left and thought it was kind of her time to move on. So I feel like at some point it's going to happen. Again, long story short, I love Rhea Ripley. I think she's great, and give it maybe some more time. And I would choose Rhea Ripley over AJ Lee, but AJ has the special place in my heart because she's the first, women's wrestler that I really just loved and thought was incredible. So yeah, that's my pick. Penta or Rey Mysterio. This you would think might be a little hard, but it's really not. This isn't even a thought in my mind. It's Rey Mysterio. Now, Penta, I love. I think he's been great ever since I first saw him in Lucha Underground, in AEW, and now in WWE. He's brand new on the scene, and he's taking the world by storm in WWE. I think he's incredible. I love Penta. I'm so excited to see where he goes. But compared to Rey Mysterio, the greatest luchador of all time and one of just the greatest wrestlers of all time, it's not a question. Rey and John Cena were the guys. Those were The Rock, Rey Mysterio, John Cena were the three wrestlers that were my first three favorite wrestlers. So yeah, it's kind of hard to even choose anybody over Rey Mysterio, really. He's my guy. So yeah, not even a question. The accolades, the career compared to Penta, who's really brand new in the world of WWE at least. Yeah, it's not a question to me. Rey Mysterio is my pick, the greatest luchador of all time, and one of just the greatest of all time in general. The next one is one I kind of second thought if I should even put it in here, but I said, you know what, it makes this video a little juicier, I guess, a little more dramatic. It is kind of, I guess maybe problematic, but the person sent this to me. I didn't come up with it. It was sent to me by somebody. They said Chris Benoit or Brock Lesnar. Now both are kind of a black cloud on professional wrestling now. Obviously, we all know what happened with Chris Benoit and his family. We don't need to get into that. And Brock Lesnar, I feel like also, again, it's newer, it's fresh, but also was just recently actually named in this kind of Vince McMahon lawsuit, Janelle Grant kind of thing. So that kind of really confirms that he was involved in not something that's great. But if we're talking in-ring wise, we're not talking about that. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to be involved in that. You know what I'm saying? We all know what they both did and are both horrible, horrible things. But in-ring wise, I'm going Chris Benoit. Brock Lesnar, I have always liked, but I feel like there was a kind of period of time where I, along with a lot of the wrestling fans that aren't just the general fans, the fans that are kind of more in this and more smart marky, I guess, we kind of got tired of Brock Lesnar. There was a while where Brock was the same, he would do the same, and it was just very stale. So that kind of, diminishes it. I think the Cowboy Brock stuff really changed the game for him. It really made people come around to him, not only because he was a babyface, but he just got to show some personality that I guess he's had the whole time and just chose that he didn't really care to show, except for a few times like when he had the Money in the Bank boombox thing or whatnot. He kind of kept his serious beast kind of front in front of him instead of showing that personality. So when he was Cowboy Brock, it was great. We saw him dancing, laughing. That was fun. But I'm still choosing Chris Benoit. He's one of the in-ring. He's one of the best, very underrated in-ring, I think. So yeah, I'm going Chris Benoit. I was given Ricochet or Ricochet from Mucha Lucha. I grew up watching Mucha Lucha, so I'm going with Ricochet with a K. Short and sweet. I'm going with him. I have more connection to him, I guess, than I do Ricochet. No heat to Ricochet. I think he's an incredible talent, and I think he still has a lot of potential. But I didn't grow up watching Ricochet. I grew up watching Ricochet. So, yeah, Mucha Lucha for the win. They should bring that back. I was given Triple H or Shawn Michaels. This one's a hard one. I love both of them. I think they're both incredible. DX is incredible. Both are on my kind of list of probably at least top 10. Well, top 10, probably maybe top 20. I don't know if, just thinking off the cuff, they're in there. I love both of them. Shawn Michaels in ring is probably the greatest wrestler of all time. I don't think that's a debate. But I think I have a little bit more of a connection to Triple H, so I might go Triple H. Again, I'm not saying Triple H is better than Shawn Michaels. I think Shawn Michaels is the better wrestler. But I think I always, as a kid, I think I liked Triple H a little bit more. And so I think I'm going to go Triple H on this one. Another kind of funny one, another quick one, Shark Boy or Curry Man. This one I love. I grew up watching TNA, the mid-2000s, mid-2010s TNA. That was kind of my stuff from, probably like 2006 to about maybe 2007 to about maybe like 2013, 2014, 2015, probably 2015. Like 2007 to 2015, I watched TNA and loved it. I think when Hulk Hogan came in, it killed it, but that's a story for another video. Shark Boy, Curry Man, two awesome gimmicks, two gimmicks I loved. But I think I'm going to go Shark Boy. I think as a kid, I didn't understand Curry Man that much because I don't even think I knew what Curry was. So I think I just thought he was funny. He's hot, he's spicy, he's Curry Man. I thought it was funny. But I think Shark Boy kind of appealed to me more as a kid. It was more kid-centric than Curry Man, I guess. So I'm going to go Shark Boy. I think it was kind of a better gimmick and a more appealing gimmick and a more marketable gimmick than Curry Man. So I'm going Shark Boy. Give me a shell, yeah. My last one, CM Punk or John Cena. And I'm wearing a CM Punk shirt, but I'm going to go John Cena. I put this shirt on just to swerve y'all. Not to get it twisted, CM Punk is one of my favorites. If you can see in the background there by my TV under my screen mask, I do have kind of a little, almost, I don't want to say shrine because that's weird, but a little collection of CM Punk things. I have a CM Punk bobblehead that I found at a store called Retro Rat in Tampa. We did a wrestling show there. Me and Elias, AK-47 Roman. My pay, not happy about it, but my pay was $20, and that bobblehead was $20. And I said, you know what, screw it. I had a little bit extra cash in my pocket at the time, so I was like, you know what, there we go. So in a way, you could say I did that show for a CM Punk bobblehead, but I'm not mad about that. It looks really cool, and then I have I have an Elite, I have the Macho Man Basic, and I have the AEW kind of luminaries Ring of Honor CM Punk. I knew how to get that when that came out. So CM Punk is one of my guys. He's in my top 5 for sure. But John Cena, my reasoning is John Cena was my childhood hero. CM Punk was more my teenage hero. I was kind of a little older. I was still kind of a kid. I was like maybe 12, 13, and above when CM Punk was really, doing this kind of CM Punk, like the, best in the world, like kind of when he came back, did the pipe bomb, things like that. I was kind of a tween teen. But I still loved CM Punk before that. He was always my guy when he showed up on ECW. I was waiting so patiently as a little kid to see him win the ECW title. But, I would say he was probably more of a teenage hero to me than a childhood hero, whereas John Cena is a childhood hero to me. He is the GOAT. AJ Styles is my favorite of all time, but John Cena might be my number 2 just for the fact that he made my childhood so great. I'm so appreciative that he did, as well as CM Punk and Rey Mysterio, but I think John Cena was the real face of the company, so I'm going to put him there. His retirement tour this year, so it's very sad to watch, but I'm excited to see what we're going to do. He did just lose the Rumble, but I think he's winning that Elimination Chamber. So, I'm going with John Cena over CM Punk. I think in-ring-wise, CM Punk is the better wrestler, clearly. But John Cena he just spoke to me like CM Punk did, but I don't know. There's just something about John Cena that is making me put him above CM Punk in this kind of this or that. Choose a wrestler. I'm going John Cena. So that's the video. That's all I got. If you're watching, comment below maybe a this or that I could do, and if I get enough comments. Maybe I'll make a part 2 of this video. I'll do a second video with some YouTube comments or things like that. Yeah, check me out, OTS Bridger, on Instagram and X. I do a weekly podcast with my cousin Theo called OTS Project. Every week it's on the WNRN Spotify page or the OTS Project YouTube page. You can check it out every week. We talk about wrestling, but we also talk about Star Wars, Marvel, things like that. Just kind of everything we love. Comment, like, subscribe, and yeah, make sure to comment some more names, some more this or that. Pick a wrestler over another wrestler, and maybe we can do a part 2. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video.